Hi, I want to talk a little more on that moment of when I was talking about my mom getting upset with me because I was going to try to make sure that the catering was gluten free. um, I don't feel I was very descriptive of what happened, and I'd rather not really get into all of it, but the truth was, she really was harassing me. This is kind of a normal thing she does to me. Um, if I won't try something because it's got gluten in it. I mean, they will give me a dirty look. Um, you know, in a manner that it's not quite like they are too noticed for giving a dirty look, but all the same, it's noticeable enough that you can just see their disgust. It's like one of those times where I'm not sure they know that they made that expression, but they did. Like they think they're better at hiding it than what they are. Kind of like how my mom thought she was better at hiding that, she doesn't, um, she thought she was better at hiding that she favors Mara than what she really is. She, is not really good at hiding that. It turns out I found out quite a few of my friends have noticed. Um, so it's like one of those moments. My mom, is disgusted. I won't try something with gluten in it, even though I have an allergy to it. I have an allergy to lactose. Um, I can't. That's not all. There's a few other things. But like figs, I have to be careful about those because um, I have an allergy to those as much as my baby sister has an allergy to kiwis. We both eat something like that, and our tongue is just itching, like someone just scratched uh, sandpaper on your tongue. I'm not so sure how else to describe that. Um, I may also have an allergy to cactus. Before I understood what allergies was, I still remember when I was much younger, and my mom had gotten some cactus for us. Uh, as a kid, I was insisting there was pricklies in the cactus, and they were stuck in my lip, and everybody else seemed to be fine. Now I'm older, and I look back on that memory, I'm going, oh, I probably had an allergy to cactus. That's why I could feel little pricklies, and nobody else did. There's no pricklies there. I just had an allergy. Um, you know, so she'll harass me in minor ways and then sometimes bigger ways because I have an allergy to gluten. I'm not so sure why she acts as if it's an inconvenience to her, but it's weird. It's not like it's an inconvenience to her because she gets to eat all the gluten she wants to eat. I mean, breads, pastas, whatever. Um, so it's not an inconvenience, but it's more like she acts like it's an inconvenience to having people look at her like she's normal. Um, like she has to be that person with the child that has an allergy that has to order things at a restaurant weirdly. So she has to, treat me in a not so friendly way. Um, I don't really know why. Just to be mean, and that's all. Okay, so as you know, I have allergies. So when I called to get an idea about the catering at the zoo and how I might go about planning an event there, a wedding. Of course, because I have to watch my allergies because I have to take care of myself. If I don't, I already have anxiety, and that's truth. But when I have um, you know gluten in my system, um, my brain becomes very much a fog. Uh, I'm that person that doesn't get a joke. and nobody really understands how I'm not getting things and how I'm not understanding things, I become that person. uh, so my brain becomes a fog, and my anxiety spikes up to a point that it's just unbearable. Um, yeah, that not living might seem like a better option at that moment because it's just that bad. It's very bad. Um, it's not that bad anymore when I accidentally, get some, gluten or wheat in my system. Now that I've mostly got it out of my system, but beforehand when it was unknown that I had an allergy to it, you know, uh, and I was eating all the time. Kids they like hot dogs, they like hamburgers and pizza, so he got a lot of bread and dairy at that moment. So, um, so a lot of gluten and a lot of lactose things I shouldn't have been having. I can't tell you how many times, in particularly in my teen years, I just say that I didn't feel good. And, my mom, being who she is, never took it seriously and just told me I was pathetic and, stop saying I feel sick. And you always telling me that you always say you feel sick. Well, there was a reason for that. I was pretty much constantly eating things that I shouldn't be eating. Uh, now it's mostly out of my system now, though, so anytime I eat it now, it's not that bad, but I still have to be careful because I do not want to go through that inward mental hell again, to be honest. I cannot even begin to describe how bad the anxiety was. It was just, I think only people who have gone through anxiety understand what I'm feeling. Some people, they don't have anxiety and they have no idea and they don't get it, and some of them look at you like you're an idiot, like, why are you having anxiety? Just don't be scared of nothing. It's like, you don't understand. My brain's attacking itself. My brain is wired to do this. I don't have a choice in this matter. Uh, it doesn't mean you can't find tools to try to, uh, sort of bear through it, but it's still there, and you still have to live with it. And when I have I have in my system what I have an allergy to, then it spikes up. It spikes up to a very unbearable feeling. It's not good. So I have to be very careful, about making sure that I don't get any allergies. Uh, and I'm not really sure how this catering system works. I don't know if they're able to just provide me with a gluten-free meal and the rest of the guests can have all the dang gluten and bread they want. I don't know. But when I was on the phone, I had to ask and, request, can that be done? She said that the gluten free can be done. She doesn't know about the lactose free, so I'm going to go see about that um, next week and see if, what can be done about that or if anything can be done. Um, so, and my mom only hearing one half of the conversation. And even if the whole catering has to be gluten free and they can't do partial gluten free like for me and everybody else can have whatever they want, um, I it doesn't bother me that it would have to be because to be honest, gluten free is simply like steak or it's just normal food. It is normal food. It is not anything specially different. I mean, the only time you find gluten free that's something specially different is when they make this all purpose cooking flour that's like a mix between tapioca and rice and soy and other flours that are not wheat. Um, and some of them are good and some of them are not. The one we get is, I think it's called Knights something. I can't remember. It has a little knight on it though, on a horse. It's pretty good. Um, The only one I would ever stay away from, though, is namaste foods. I absolutely do not like them. They seem popular with some people and they seem to love it, but I personally just do not like namaste. It makes me feel like I'm eating something with a flavor of Play-Doh in it. Um, but, the majority of gluten-free food does not taste like that. In fact, the majority does not need to be specially made. It is just normal food. It's like a salad without croutons. It's still a salad. You still got your vegetables and your um, bacon bits and whatever else goes in there. It's a normal food, and you can order whatever dressing to go on there. So that's why I in particular didn't mind that, if it has to be all gluten free, that, I wouldn't worry about the guest not being happy with the food because I know it's just normal food. The likelihood is that, you can eat chicken, steak, bacon. You get it. It's just normal food, fruits and veggies. It's the only thing that off the menu is wheat. That's pretty much it. Everything else is, it's gluten free. um, so yeah, that's why I really didn't mind so much that if the whole catering has to be gluten free, just to fit around my allergies. The thing is, though, is because I do have allergies, I have to watch it and I have to be careful. And it hurts, when my mom has to harass me and look for excuses just to do so, and a way to hurt me and get attention. I mean, like I said, it was around. Um, she would wait till she was parked, and she would wait till there was people around, and like I said, she rolled her window down and started complaining and making sure to be really, really loud. It's normal for her to do these things where she's just trying to make me look like a bad person and get herself attention. I'm not sure where she gets off doing this, and I'm not sure what her payoff is. But this is how she treats me. This is what she does. Um, so this is normal for her to do this to me, and it really sucks. Though I do think this was the first time I really called her out on it because I was just, tired of her harassing me, and I really didn't get into detail about how she was doing that. But, I'd rather not, and it was, it's multiple times she'll do these things. So it's not just that day, it's multiple times. Um, I mean, and she was yelling at me and screaming at me over this because, I asked if the woman on the phone if the food could be gluten free because I have an allergy. Um, and I don't like how she's treating me like I'm doing this to torture everybody. I'm not asking the food to be gluten free because I want to torture everyone. I'm doing it because I have an allergy. I don't have a choice. I have to make sure that there's nothing getting in my system, in my body, that I should not have there. That can make me sick, that can make my brain go fogged up, that can spike up my anxiety. Um, to where your body is starting to try to damage itself and starting to attack itself. And maybe in ways that you can't see because you're not inside your own body to look and see what all is going on. You just know you're getting the symptoms of, little signs of what's going on. Like, my brain fogging up. I can't see what's going inside my head. I just know I'm having a symptom of what's going on inside my head. And getting sick. I can't see what's going on inside my stomach. I just can feel a symptom of what's going on. My anxiety. I don't see what's going on inside. I'm just feeling a symptom. The thing is, though, when you do have allergies, it is doing something inside your body. And you're going to have symptoms of it. And aside from the symptoms, you have to watch out for what you're eating just to make sure your body's not attacking itself in some manner. So that's the big reason about watching out for what you eat. It's not just about, the physical symptoms that you can, be able to feel and experience. It's about the other stuff too. You don't know what's going on inside. In fact, a big part of it is the part you feel going. You can't feel what's going on inside or see what's going on inside. Uh, so mostly, I just wanted to go and explain a little more. Why it was hurting me. Uh, you know, with my mom harassing me about the gluten-free menu. Uh, you know, because it's not like I'm trying to torture everybody. And secondly, if I thought gluten-free food or knew the gluten-free food was not that flavorful or yummy, I would do what I could to make sure that all the guests had something, and that I had a separate menu. Again, I don't know how the catering system works. I'm going to have to find out next week. Uh, but for now, that could be the case that all the food's going to be gluten-free. Um, and but if the food was not that good, I would make sure that the guests would have what they need that tastes good. Because damn, even I know everybody needs something that tastes good. Some may say you don't, but I consider it a need. I'm like, you don't want something gross in your mouth. I mean, come on. Um, you don't want something that tastes bad. So to me, taste and flavors are a need. Good flavors. And if it wasn't good food, I would do what I had to make sure. But gluten free is just like chicken and beef, pork, turkey, um, all your vegetables and all your rice and all your fruits. I mean, it's all gluten free. It's just normal food. The only thing off the menu is wheat, and that is it. So that's the reason I'm not really too worried about nobody liking their food, because who the hell is going to complain about getting a steak? I mean, unless they're vegetarian or vegan, nobody's going to complain about having a steak. um, no one's going to complain about being served beans and rice with their tacos. Yes, you can still eat tacos and be gluten intolerant. Uh, yeah, so, there's really not much different. There's just gluten-free food is just food. That's it, without the bread. Um, can still eat a good breakfast of eggs, bacon, and sausage, and just not the toast. uh, so the fact she threw such a tantrum and did that in a manner just to get attention and make it seem like I'm trying to be a horrible host or whatever you want to call it. Um, bride at wedding. I don't know. Just it was just I thought that was just messed up and hurtful and mean. It was she had no right to do that, and it's not the only thing she's done. Trying to change the wedding to what she wants it to be. Me and my boyfriend, he likes space aliens and I like fairies, so we were just gonna combine the two. Cause why the hell not? Have a little fun. And my sister and my mom really didn't seem to, my baby sister and my mom really didn't seem to like that idea. And they're like, oh, so you want like a costume party? It could be like costume or around Halloween. And it's like, no, just aliens and fairies. That's it. you know, um, so no, nobody's going to be coming there dressed as it. At least they better not. Or dressed up as whatever else, just an alien or a fairy. Keep it simple and keep it fun. Uh, you know, but if my sister and my mom, baby sister and mom don't like it, they try to make that known. They try to change it. So, before I give any more, before I get to the update now, that was that of like how things have been going. I just wanted to share more in detail, real quick. Why that bothered me so much that day that my mom did that. Um, it was, I didn't feel I was very descriptive, and I just kind of sound like I was ranting, which I might have been, but, I'm human and I do, but, it had a lot more to do with just the fact she was doing it for attention, and the fact she was literally screaming and yelling at me, harassing me that hurt more. Um, there was a lot more going on, and she really was treating me like shit, and it just, yeah, it was hard. So I guess I'm done now, and I will get on to the update. Okay. Well, my update actually isn't too bad. I just had Halloween, and I went as a witch. I had a new hat, so of course I had to wear it. So I went as a witch this year. I did something I hardly do, and I put on makeup. Um, and I do paint. I paint windows. I wish I could do that more for to make money off of, but currently, right now, I don't have a license, and I'm just trying to learn to drive with a permit. Uh, so currently, I do not have enough, control to, where I'm going and when I'm going. So, I'm just gonna wait till I have my license, and I'm gonna work on, making that into some source of income. I still plan on getting a job, but I figure, can get a bit of money, painting windows too. When I had a chance to go do so for a couple of days, I made around $100. So you know, it's about good money with just painting windows. Of course, you have to be good at it. And I just seem to have I've always had a natural talent with art, so painting windows is something I can do. Um, and honestly, I think you just have to have your own freestyle that works good for you. I mean, some people will try to teach me how to do things, and I mean, it just doesn't always work out. I can't do what they're doing. I have my own style that I use with my own wrist, and um, I'll still can paint this exact same way as somebody else. It's just I have to do it differently to them. Sometimes they're like, "You need to do this with the brush," and I'm like, and I can't, and I have to do it a different way, and still get the same results. So I guess I figured just make up your own style. um, it, you know, it doesn't matter how you get to that result. It just matters is that you find your own way to get to that result. Um, Kind of like how some people try to teach kids in school the same way to learn something. Not all kids learn the same. But what matters is that they all can figure out 2 plus 2 is 4. That's what matters. uh, you know, and sometimes teaching them all the same style is not going to work. Sometimes each kid has to find their own unique style of learning. For one, when it comes to math, I have to actually use numerology. I don't know why. It inspires me a little more. um, so yeah, for me, I like using numerology when it comes to math. It's my own unique style. Um, but back onto my day. My update. It was dressed up as a witch, and I had painted on the window a giant teal pumpkin. Because that way they know that if your children have allergies, we do have treats here for them too. Um, like for the teal pumpkin, it means if you have like little toys or cups or straws or pencils, something the kid can have that doesn't have to be eaten. Because some kids have allergies to peanuts, milk, um, and some of them are allergic to have an allergy to gluten, as I do. Some of them range from other things too, like nuts and um, I don't know what other ones are. Just trying to think of the common ones. The common ones I know about so far are like milk and nuts. um, that's about as all ever heard of. Oh, I have heard one kid was had an allergy to food dye once. Red colored food dye. She couldn't have that. So yeah, there's a lot of allergies out there. You'd be surprised. And having a teal pumpkin, it just means your kid's safe to come here. We'll give them a glow stick or something. It's still okay to have a bag of candy there, for the other kids that don't have allergies and they want to have their freaking candy. Um, the teal pumpkin just means you have something there just in case there's a kid with allergies or it means that, that's all you're giving out at that house is just, little toys or trinkets, just little things kids can use or play with but not eat. Um, so they're allergy safe. Um, so yeah, I have painted a pumpkin on the window because um, we had lots of plastic cups that were for children for Halloween. And it turns out though we were gonna have rain, so we were not gonna have trick or treaters this year. Um, so I went with my sister down to the stockyards where her and her, um, I guess you could call them a group. um, they go down there and they do entertainment once a week, but it was Halloween and around the holidays they'll do other stuff too. Um, so I went down there with her dressed in my witch costume and helped to pass out candy to children. So I could give some things to trick or treaters. There's this area down at the stockyards where um not sure what to call it. It's just an area where there's a big roof over your head and it has like many little shops uh for people to go in and just shop and enjoy their time there. Um and this time it was Halloween, so everybody came with their kids and all the shops were out there with a bag of candy to give to the give candy to the kids. Me and my dang, I'm really bad with accidentally trying not to accidentally almost saying names. Luckily, I did not really just say her name, though. I almost did, though. My bad. Me and my baby sister went down to the stockyards, and, I helped her pass out candy that was in a big, giant basket. We had a few cups in there and a few straws, and that's because she was thinking about giving them out as prizes because they were going to have a costume contest for the children, and she didn't know they already had prizes provided. So, uh, we just ended up giving out the cups to the kids and the straws and all the other stuff that were in there. Um, and the freaking basket got emptied. It was a lot of kids. And yeah, so there went all that candy. And a lot of parents wanted their kids to take pictures with us. Uh, yeah, so of course we didn't mind. I felt bad. There was I went as a witch that was just, normal, and I had some makeup on, just like some red lipstick and some brown and tan and black eyeshadow, just normal makeup stuff. I have brown eyes, so I'm able to wear some darker colors, and it matches right in there. Earthy tones. Um, my baby sister, though, went as a witch that was all green. She painted herself all green, with the proper makeup, I might add. So she didn't like use, like tempera paint or something. I've seen some people that, you see pictures of them that are people in public that have tried doing that, or they just use regular paint. That really is not the paint you want to use. You want to go use some special makeup paint that is meant to go on your skin so that everything is evenly toned. Using tempera or some sort of paint that is just, child's finger paint is not going to put an even coat on your skin, and it's really not going to look proper. I mean, if you're just having fun, that's cool, but for those that want to do it properly, you're going to want to go get the proper makeup. Which my sister did. And she did a really good job, too, because there was a few of those kids that did not want to go near her. They looked at her, they were like, and their mom's like, oh, it's okay, honey. And they're just like, no. They would not go near my sister. Most of them did, but there was a few that were like, mm-mm. It's like, you're the Wicked Witch of the West, and I don't trust you. There was only one child that acted a little scared of me. And, because we're dressed as witches, and, the witches aren't good, and I really didn't even think about that scaring children until after we were there, and that one kid did get a little scared of me. And the mom was like, "Oh, it's okay, honey. She's the good witch." And this little boy, I don't know, like 3, 4 years old, sort of inches closer to me and grabs the candy, and then, you know, backs away much faster than he inched close than what he had approached. You know, he just kind of seemed like, so yeah. Poor kid. I felt so bad. So, maybe next year I won't go as a witch simply because I don't want to scare the little children. There was definitely a lot of witches too down there. I, was kind of shocked how many women and children came dressed as witches. Um, so yeah. That Halloween was a good day. It was great. It was really fun. I enjoyed it. It was just a lot of fun. Just passing candy out to kids and watching them smile, and then watching this one kid point her wand at me, and I guess trying to banish me because I was the witch. I don't know. It was adorable though. Um, so yeah. No, I had no idea. It can be a little tiring when there's so many people wanting you to take a picture of their kid. I mean, because you don't really get a moment to focus. It's like, oh, take a picture of my kid. Oh, take a picture of my kid. Oh, take a picture of my kid. You really don't get a moment to be like, breathe. It's just like, once one wants a picture with you to have a picture with their kid, then there's another, then there's another, there's another. So you really don't really get a moment. So that was just kind of a little exhausting because, like, okay, 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 okay. And each time you have to smile and you have to pose, and it's just like, yeah. um, but it was a pretty good day. I enjoyed it. Honestly, even when something's exhausting, I've never, shied away from like a little work. It just I kind of enjoy working. I enjoy putting a smile on people's faces. Makes me feel good. To be honest, it really does. Um, but I think it was, yeah, it was the day after Halloween. My mom had another one of her moments. We went to Costco. And for the longest time, she kept accusing me of leaving bottles of water out. We will not drink tap water. My family finds it absolutely disgusting, so we always get bottles of water. And I gotta say, it does taste different. Uh, so she gets bottles of water for us all to drink, and somebody kept leaving bottles of water throughout the house. I mean, there was definitely a lot of water getting wasted. I, though, do not like wasting water. Um, I also am a person who likes drinking water, so it just was difficult for me to drink water and to not waste a drop of it. And being that everybody was drinking Orzarka, so we're all drinking the same bottle and it looks the same. So I would always leave mine specifically right in front of the microwave so I knew where it was at. And that I didn't get it mixed in confusion with all the other bottles that were not being drunk up and, finished off, and a lot of water was just getting wasted. Some of these were half full, some of these were 3/4 of the way full. That's mostly where it was. The majority of them were like half full or 3/4 of the way full. A few times you come across one where somebody just barely drank out of it, and someone would drink it 3/4 of the way down. But most of them were half full and 3/4 of the way full. And so there was a lot of water being wasted. And my mom was, acting like I was the one leaving out. And she's like, "Are you sure this isn't your bottle? This is going to be your bottle. I'm sure these are all your bottles. And I'm like, nope, mine is right in front of the microwave. You can see it right there. So she um, has insisted for a long time that I start drinking different bottles of water. She finally got her way. You know, my family went to Costco at one point um, without me one day, and I got a phone call. What water do you want? I'm like, at this point, I don't care. So they got me a different water. I'm drinking Kirkland's purified water, and everybody else is drinking Ozarka. uh, and now that this has been going on for a matter of I guess a matter of months. It hasn't been a year yet, but it's been a little more than a few months. Uh, guess what? Waters are being left around everywhere. See, my mom gets the bigger bottles of Ozarka, so she knows which bottles are hers. My sister gets the regular My baby sister gets the regular bottles of Ozarka, so we know which is hers. My dad freezes the bottles of Ozarka, and then he puts some of them in a big metal cup and then pour some Ozarka water in a cup. So he never leaves bottles around because he's always drinking out of a cup. Um, and I'm drinking Kirkland. So we know exactly which ones are mine. So after how long my mom has been really angry with me, complaining at me for leaving bottles of water around, now the evidence is there that I am not the one leaving bottles of water around. I am drinking all my water, and my baby sister is leaving Ozarka bottles in the living room, in the kitchen, and in my parents' bedroom. So, yeah. But my mom does not complain to my baby sister for nothing. Remember that. She doesn't. Uh, she just complains at me for everything and complains at me if the house is dirty um, and won't expect my baby sister to do nothing. Uh, so yeah. And she may say she complains to my baby sister, but that's like every now and then, and it doesn't last long. It's just you know a small gesture of you really should do more, and then after that it's done. But when it comes to me, ever since I was a kid, she does not mind yelling and screaming at me for hours. Um, so I'm all like, I've seen what she can do, and I don't feel like she puts much effort into telling my baby sister that she's lazy then. And even though I'm the one that cleans the house and everything, I feel like she puts more effort into making sure I know I need to do more. And if I get tired of my baby sister taking advantage of me and mention one thing that she doesn't do anything in the house, then my mom is all up on my ass about how my baby sister does and how she takes care of us and everybody in this house, and how she appreciates what my baby sister does. And so basically it's all up and down about bashing me and praising my baby sister about things she really doesn't actually do. And there's no other way to put that. My baby sister doesn't do it. I mean, it's literally just false. So it's a lie. It's a bunch of BS. My baby sister usually sits on the couch and looks for more costumes for my mom to buy her and jewelry. And she's been getting a lot of more jewelry and little hats lately. So, yeah, you get it. That's how the function of the house is. Um, so when it came to the bottles of water, my baby sister didn't get complained at once. My mom didn't get mad at her once for wasting water again. And yes, she has wasted water. There's been waters there, and I've had to dump them because they're just sitting there for days and not being drank, and they're still now. They're not good. You don't want to drink them. Um, so I've had to dump them, and so there's more water being wasted again. Um, and I am drinking all my water. So as I said, this is something my mom has insisted on and it made sure happen. And now that my name is cleared and it's evident I'm not the one leaving the bottles of water everywhere, my mom's not saying anything. But now all of a sudden she wants to just switch back to us all drinking Ozarka. Here we are at Costco, and my mom's already made clear that she just wants us to get Ozarka. And, I told my dad that because I don't want my mom yelling or screaming at me anymore over things. So I just try to keep things as peaceful as possible, usually just giving her what she wants, just so I can get a little peace. And there goes my dad grabbing the Kirkland again. And my mom's like, "What is he doing?" And I'm like, "He's grabbing Kirkland." I said, "I told him that you just wanted the Ozarka." I'm like, I did, because she was already insisting that she wants all Ozarka now. So pretty much I'm just trying to be like, look, I did not insist to get Kirkland. I don't care what water y'all get. I realize I'm trapped at this moment. At this point, if I, um, you know, because my parents sometimes make up their own minds and they'll make different decisions, and quite often that's what the case is. Um, and if it's about one of us, like my baby sister or I, then all of okay, I take it back. Not my baby sister, just me. I sometimes will get a lot of the backlash for it. My dad's grabbing the Kirkland, so my mom can make up this story that she weaves up that I insisted on Kirkland. And yes, she's done stuff like this before. And this is why I try to avoid it as best as I can. And, here he is getting the Kirkland. So, I'm just trying to make it clear to her I did not insist on Kirkland. And, you know, she just absolutely brushed off what I said and didn't even respond to that. As usual, she just has her own story and she weaves it, and that's the one she'll express. And, she just throws her hands up in the air and says, "Well, you two get whatever water you want." I, you know, she said a little more, but she was like trying to, in a way, like say like I had. She said it in a manner like indicating that I was insisting on having separate water, like I was trying to separate everything in the house. Um, you know, uh, I didn't respond to her because I don't want to deal with the shit, but inwardly I was just agitated and thinking, are you kidding me? You're the one that insisted that I have different water. Now you're acting like I was the one that insisted I have different water. I never insisted that at all. Like, I drank to my water, I knew where it was, and I finished it. The rest of it is just you accusing me, and that's a problem, and that's your fault. That isn't my fault. At least I know I'm innocent, and it's hard dealing with all the screaming and the yelling and the accusations and all this crap, but at least I know where my water was and that I'm innocent. So my mom, she'll make these accusations and, insist on having it a certain way so she could try to prove that I'm the one in wrong, and then when it's not going that way and she finds out it's my baby sister leaving water around, um, then all of a sudden she twists it around and acts like I was the one that wanted a different water to drink. Like I'm trying to separate everything in the house. Like I'm trying to separate my. She honestly does it in a way, in a manner of tone, and the way she says it is like I'm trying to separate everything, including for my family and everything. Um, which is hard and it hurts. It's like I've done everything I can to try to be close to my family, and she's put every effort in pushing me away and acting like I'm the one pushing away, which is what hurts the most. Um, so yeah, that's an update on things how it was going. Halloween was great, but my mom pulled another number of acting like I'm trying to separate everything, and she does it in a small way over something small. but she makes it look like it's a bigger deal. Um, and this is not the only time she's done stuff like this. She's done things like that repeatedly. Um, and I don't expect it to be the last either. It's just really hard going through. And I know I talk a lot about how my mom treats me and how my mom treats my baby sister. I just want to make clear I'm not like trying to demonize my family. I know that could be look like really easy, like I'm trying to when I say all the crap they're doing. Um, but the truth is, like I said before, I think they just need help. They really need help. Um, so yeah, I'm not trying to demonize my mom. Do I think she's doing things that have no excuse? Yes. But all the same, I think she's a person that's been hurt and abused, and now she's being the abusive one. Um, just as a way to escape from the pain, kind of like switching roles in your mind. Like if you're the one being the abuser, then you're no longer the abusee. You're not the one being abused. Uh, I think there's a lot to do sometimes with why people abuse. Sometimes they're really just switching roles mentally, is what they're doing. Um, and as I said, I think she's addicted to the chaos, and I think she convinces herself that what she's saying is true. So when I say she's being manipulative, I do think she's being manipulative, but I think just seconds later, somehow she convinces herself what she just said was true. And it's literally just crazy and insane, but, um, this, a lot to do with why I say she needs help. I mean, how could someone literally convince themselves of so much being true that isn't true? I have no idea, other than they've been mentally messed with in a very bad way. Uh, so yeah, I know it's over something small like bottles of water, but she turned it into a bigger deal. Um, and again, trying to make it look like I was somebody trying to separate everything again. And I mostly just kept my mouth shut, and it's moments like that where I hate it though, because she makes one remark and then people don't have to second guess her. And I don't know if people second guess her or if they can see right through her. I mean, I learned a lot of people see right through her, and I had no idea. Um, but all the same, I've learned, there's also a lot of people that don't. They hear one thing and then that's what they stick with, like it's gospel. um, so that's a big reason why a lot of time I think people are sheep, because they hear one thing and they stick to it and they don't really investigate or use some sense. But yeah, that's just an update on what's been going on lately, and things that have happened. Uh, and I guess a little bit more description on the gluten-free menu thing. I don't want people to think that I'm just like selfish and feel like everybody needs to eat gluten-free. That's not what it was about. Uh, Everybody's around me is allowed to eat gluten all the time. It's just this is a wedding and it's a catering service, and I have to make sure that there's nothing there that I can have any symptoms from. That and whether it be that they're just gonna serve it to me and everybody else gets gluten, or if they're gonna serve it to everyone else too. That I'm not too worried about, because honestly, either way, it's food and I know all of it tastes good. If there was something for me to worry about about not tasting good, then I would have done what I had to. But it's all food and it all tastes good. So, I'm not some selfish, mean person. Even my boyfriend's still allowed to eat gluten. I don't stop him from eating it. I mean, so, this is just about me trying to take care of my body and I guess see how the catering system works next week. I'm not even certain still how it works. Um, But either way, whichever way it works, I'm not too worried because it's just food and it's all going to taste good, and that much I know. So, yeah, I just don't even think I'm selfish or anything because I'm not. uh, I'm just watching out for my body, and all the same, I will make sure that there's good, yummy food for everybody else too. And gluten-free food is just food, so it is yummy food. Nothing special, just normal food. But yeah, that's about it. So I guess everybody have a good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, and goodbye now.